and then in the showcase challenge, like 4 or 5 of the top 8 were all this deck.
Looks like we have
rock, paper, scissors, baby. Rock, lobster, paper, crab. I can't remember what the scissor one is called. What is the scissor one called?
I have no idea. I don't know what any of them are called.
It's rock, lobster, paper, crab. Shoot, I don't know.
Tiger? Dude. It's one of them a tiger.
Oh, I think it is. Tiger claw? I don't know. Anyway, I love the BCDL sleeves.
You got to represent everywhere you go.
Although, have you noticed that I was gonna say like the MTG cards behind the chicken make it look like a rooster. Wait, that's a rooster, isn't it? The stickers don't have the thing. Interesting. I'd have to ask why we use a rooster in our chicken logo.
Aren't roosters a kind of chicken? I actually have no idea.
I mean, I'm sure they're related, right? But are they different birds? Is a rooster a male chicken? Is that how that works?
I'm an engineer, not a biologist.
I work in corporate finance. Not even corporate finance. I just work in finance. I'm not a finance bro, dude. Chill. I'm buy side. Only sell side is finance bros.
Is that not the most finance bro defense of not being a finance bro?
I'm not I work on the buy side. I work at a fund. I'm not investment banking. Anyway. Ooh. Guru Island and TSR Foil Retro Ponder. You had my attention, but now you have my interest. Why are you looking at me? Dude, both of those cards are sick art.
They're best Ponder art.
What?
We've already had this conversation.
You can't count your Ponder.
I will count my
Ponder. I cannot go to TCG Player and buy it.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Quite literally it is. Because I didn't top 8 the Turtle Weekend. Anyway.
Is the deck list wrong then?
Yeah, I think the deck list that we have might be wrong. Wait, what?
Oh, that was me. Yes, I looked at the wrong Rob. Did he submit his deck list? We don't have his deck list.
We don't have the deck list.
I saw one Robert and clicked on it.
But we did just grief away a Goblin Engineer. Welder.
I apologize. That is a hot dog cosplay. Actually, it could just be a hot dog. You don't know that.
That's true. Anyway, Polluted Delta, fetch. Is that Rob Alexander signed? Is that who did that art?
Yeah.
Is Rob Alexander the one that like
signs everything
and then doesn't give it back, or who is that?
I think he signs everything, and lately he signed too many things and had a big backlog or something. Yeah.
Oh, someone told me who is it that was just like not like there was like an issue with them not returning cards.
I think it was Rob Alexander.
Anyway, Island tapped for Brainstorm.
Is this a main phase Brainstorm?
I think so, because we have our second lane down and we were on the play. Because we pondered into Grief Scam, right? Pitching the Reanimate. Alright, what do we think about this Reanimate art?
That's the Reanimate art I have. I don't know if it's the best.
I use OG. My favorite is the Box Topper, the Ultimate Masters Box Topper, but I can't get myself to spend $90 each on those. Because you need all 4. But damn, those are beautiful. Right, we're in the tank about this Brainstorm. Fortunately, I cannot see the cards. The angle is just short. Tap Underground Sea, cast Reanimate, target Grief, target you. Actually, you actually can't target yourself with Grief.
Nope.
Strictly worse Unmask.
Oh yeah, strictly.
Take the non-showcase Fable the Mirror Breaker, the rest were lands. I imagine we will see a Fable the Mirror Breaker here a little bit. Urza's Saga. And we embark on Urza's journey. Exile Satan Spirit Guide, we will see Fable the Mirror Breaker. Pro Tour Championship card.
Ooh, days.
Ooh.
Can we follow up with the Wasteland for the
just for the ultimate BM. Cycle Troll of Khazad-dûm. What are we getting here?
I'm gonna guess a swamp.
Oh, does that count as a swamp?
It
technically.
It is not technically.
True. It is a swamp type. That is indeed correct.
Ooh. Under.
What is that one called? Undercity Sewers?
I think so.
Undercity Sewers, come in 1, surveil 1. Tap Underground Sea for a Brainstorm. Draw 3 cards, put 2 back in any order from your hand.
I'm hoping we can surveil one of our big things into the graveyard for the value.
Surveilling an Earl always feels so good too.
If you played BCDL, would you have played Stifle?
Oh yeah. I only play that deck now. One of the biggest criticisms I received, I was getting better at Legacy, is I kept switching decks. So I decided after my deck was stolen, it was kind of like a message, like, all right, this is my deck now. Because going into that, I wasn't like super high on it. Like I just thought it was a ton of fun to play, and it was always my pet deck. Then it was stolen from me, and then it got personal. Then it's like, all right, this is my deck now. Because I was crushing with it too. I was like undefeated. It's like 4-0 or something in that tournament. Anyway, Entomb. Beautiful.
I do love that art.
I do love that art. I have the Dominaria remastered full art one, but I do love that one. Yeah, I love the Judge promo animate deads with the dinosaur on it.
I do love
Grizzle Daddy.
I think that's what.
Wait, Grizzle Daddy?
We are in a.
What year is it? Is it 2023?
I feel like it's a little dubious in the Bowmaster world, but
it is a little dubious. Oh, the Judge promo animate dead. Anyway, draw 7.
Does the hot dog have a response?
Well, swing for 3 first. Go. That's so incredible, dude.
It's sometimes you have a brand, and the brand is just
the brand loyalty here is truly incredible. Also, I'm surprised. Does Painter ever have the ability to run something like an Ether Spellbomb because you have Mox Opal and like Lotus Petal and stuff?
They don't run very many of them lately. I think the next list actually only has 1 Mox Opal and 2 Lotus Petals.
Interesting. Okay.
Now that we know it's Esper ReScaminator, we can talk about the sideboard better. Mm-hmm. So
you're definitely on Esper because you want some number of single target removal. So you're probably running swords.
Probably Pest Control.
Which is probably good in this matchup, honestly. Holy crap. And then you're probably bringing in the Triumph of St. Catherine.
I'm not sure if he's playing any of those.
I think, isn't that the main reason people run Esper is for a Triumph?
Maybe before, but I don't think I've seen too much of it lately.
Interesting. Okay. I
think Pest Control has taken up.
Yeah, I have to get one. I have to get some. I think I have only 1 right now.
I just ordered 2 showcase foils.
Oh, I have 1 regular that I opened in a pack. That I opened in a boosty.
So next sideboard has 3 Blood Moons, 1 Ensnaring Bridge, 1 Crucible.
I wish we could see the land base because I don't know if we're still on the 2 basics. Because usually this deck runs a single swamp, a single island, then the rest are dual lands or multi-typed lands. So I'm not sure if the Scaminator package implies that we're on less basics to keep the scrub land or Tundra. Yeah. You're on Tundra or Scrubland? Scrub, right?
Because you get it off
Troll,
yeah. So Julia Land of the Void, Magus of the Moon, 1 Pithy Needle, 1 Soul Guide Lantern, 2 Thorns, 2 Crypts, 1 Trinisphere.
I imagine a lot of the lock pieces are coming in. I'm not so sure about the moon effects, but it really depends because we saw a pretty light mana base. I don't think we saw any white sources, right?
No,
So I don't know. Like it's fine. The thing is, the deck can operate off of the 2 basics like decently enough. Now, a Blood Moon is still pretty backbreaking because it's really hard to still play the game in like a meaningful sense through it, but it's like doable. Like if someone resolves a late Blood Moon, you've already have some kind of like hand crafted or some board developed. You can play around it pretty easily. But still, like the turn 1 Ancient Tomb Lotus Petal Blood Moon, can't really beat that. Like unless you already have like a basic island in your hand.
Yeah, I'm wondering if actually you just don't bring in the Blue Moons, but you bring in the Maggots of the Moon, because they probably don't have a ton of removal, and it kind of just it's a 3 mana 2/2 that is also disruptive, and maybe you just lightly bring it in. You also have like Leyline of the Void is good, Soul Guide Lantern. On the play, Thorn is maybe something Nick's interested in. I'm a big fan of Trinisphere, I think, in this matchup.
3 ball is a house of a card.
Yeah.
The ability to turn 1 is pretty good. The thing is, like, obviously you can't really protect it per 6. How many Pyroblasts are we on? 4, so you would need another one to Pyroblast it on the play. Or you could wait until turn 2 to hold up Pyroblast, but if you have if you in the blind, if you're turn 1, you're on the play, and you have Ancient Tomb, Sumian Spirit Guide, and you also have like another red source, and you have a Pyroblast. How often do you slam that turn 1, and how often are you waiting to have the Pyroblast?
You said a lot of words there. What was the?
If you have the ability to turn 1 Blood Moon without Pyroblast backup, do you rip it, or do you wait? Because if you give them 1 turn, they can get a fetch land down. The power of that Blood Moon is severely weakened.
Yeah, the Pyroblast is good data. Slamming it. I'm a slam gamer.
Okay, because I was thinking like it's kind of an interesting argument, right? Because if you let them pass and they can get a fetch land down, all of a sudden, like the difference between having no islands and 1 island is massive, right? Massive. But now you have Pyroblast backup to protect your Blood Moon. If they kept 7 and they can just force it, because generally when they force something, it's a 2-for-1 in your favor. But if you're Simian Spirit Guiding, it's just an even trade, and you're not happy about that. Slamming still? Okay.
Slamming. We came here to slam.
I'm not a prison gamer, so I have no idea what the heuristics are. Welcome to the jam. Wake up. I don't even know the lyrics anymore. It's been a minute since I've seen that movie. I didn't like the new one, the LeBron one. I still think the MJ one was better.
I haven't seen it.
The LeBron one?
Which is weird. I feel like LeBron's a much better actor, but I don't think it's a LeBron versus MJ, because MJ is a pretty terrible actor.
Maybe I'll watch the new Space Jam later today. Actually, sounds like a fun way to like go to bed. I just keep it on. You don't watch movies before you go to bed?
I watch old school RuneScape.
Oh my god, that's right.
To go to bed.
Oh my god, that's right.
Or my midday nap is LSV Cube videos.
Wait, what is
right
this?
To sleep.
What is that?
It is
Grindstone.
Prosperity Grindstone, yeah.
Flooded Strand.
I like the Prosperity art, but the color wash makes a lot of the cards to tell apart.
Yeah, I only use it for surgical because I really love the foiling on the Prosperity cards, but I think the art in general is not great. I hate that it says Prosperity at the top. It's not Prosperity is the name of the card. The name of the border is Prosperity because the name of the magazine, I guess, and OTJ is the Prosperity Journal or something. The card itself is Grindstone.
Yeah, Prosperity is just, they're all labeled Prosperity.
Because in the lore, I guess the journal that they're all a part of is called Prosperity.
If you look at every single one, it says Prosperity at the top, and you get confused because you think the card name.
That's like the problem with the Amonkhet ones. They all look the same. So I don't like except the Amonkhet Dazes are nice.
I love my Amonkhet Dazes.
I use Amonkhet counterbalances. I think those are so sick. Anyway, Undercity Sewer Surveil 1. Thought of Amethyst is creature or non. What does it? Spells cost 1 more?
I believe it's spells. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast.
Notably, it does change the evoke cost on grief.
Really?
Yeah. So you still have to pay 1 to evoke.
Why?
Because evoke is a cast.
It's not a cast?
Evoke is, you're still casting it. Because that's why the ETB trigger works. So it sacrifice it. The evoke thing is you may cast this, and if you do, or if this creature was evoked, sacrifice it immediately.
It still says, does it not say cast this creature?
You're still casting it when you evoke it.
But then why? But it's a creature spell, isn't it?
Oh, it's non-creature. For some reason, I'm thinking creature spells. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. Not yeah. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. We're on the same page.
We're on the same page.
There's a million magic
For some
cards.
reason, I thought creature spells cost 1 more to cast, but yeah.
There are a million magic cards that are hard to keep track of.
Yeah, because there's also, what's the lands one? That's like the same effect.
Sphere.
Sphere resistance. That's all spells.
That's all spells, yeah. And then isn't there one for artifacts?
I think there is. I don't know what it's called, though. All right. So we've kind of not been talking about the game. We should do that. There's a lot going on the painter side. There's an engineer. There's a thorn of amethyst. There's a painter servant in the yard, and 2 grindstones.
It's a crypt and a grindstone.
A what?
Tormod's crypt.
Oh, it's a Tormod's crypt. Yeah. Oh, sorry. The glare made it look like a grindstone. Similar coloring. The brown artifacts. The mud artifacts.
All those brown artifacts, they look the same.
The mud artifacts. Do you remember when mud was a deck with like Metalworker?
Yeah, I think
that's like an OG legacy deck right there.
I'm pretty sure I played Remy on mud like multiple times at BCDLs.
Wait, really?
The painter player.
Nice.
Before you. They were always really good games.
Metalworker is a house of a card. Oh, the Scrubland. And the Tundra.
It's got both.
We are truly Esper. We are not blue-black splash. We are actually Esper, both of those. Do we have... I wish we had a list for the deck, because I would love to see if there's any white cards. Main deck.
Yeah.
Pest Control.
We're gonna get in 2 things here.
Yeah, we kill the grindstones.
And the crypt that will pop.
In the crypt, yeah.
It's foil, but not showcase.
But not showcase. I respect it. People like their borders. Do you think... Would you ever buy one of those foil Cydia traders?
No. I'm not made of money.
I gotta
prioritize.
That's fair. Are those even tournament playable?
I'm not sure. I would assume.
Like, can you? If you bought one, could you play one in a tournament?
I can't imagine a legacy judge going, "No, you can't play that in this legacy tournament."
Yeah, not in this one, but like in general. Like, I wonder if you could go to a comp REL with it. Anyway, here's another grindstone. I actually don't know if you could play with those Cydia traders, because does it have like normal borders, or is it like square cut or whatever?
I'm not sure. It looks like we have the combo rolled up next turn, so we gotta remove something here.
I didn't think I saw someone play a set of them. Holy Christ!
I feel like I got into Magic too late. I
got into Magic at the right time. I was just broke.
I'm just the fish.
Because I was 6 years old. I got into Magic when Cold Snap first released.
I am the fish here.
Don't worry. I spent the bulk of my Magic spending in the last few years. Like the massive bulk of my Magic, so my total Magic spending. I either fully live from a physical sense, but it might get Harry Lely playing cards that were never supposed to make it out of the WotC offices. Yeah. I think that's why I don't know what the rule is. Like, because there isn't really a precedent set here of like cards, like versions of cards that were never supposed to be public. Brainstorm.
This does not seem good because next turn we can activate the grindstone, sack the grindstone.
While the trigger's on the stack, bring the painter, mill you out.
Yeah, and I think we'd have to have surgical, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anything else gets us there.
The surgical or like a stifle effect.
Ooh, this is giving us Oh, we just back it up. If we had removal, I guess we just assume they don't have it because they didn't cast it. But
going to game 3. I really love Painter. This deck is one of those decks that you don't really hear people talk about like too much. Like it's not always the hot commodity, but you go to tournaments and there's definitely people that love it and they play it.
In Cleveland, there's like 10 hardcore Painter players. So
really, does Cleveland have like a big legacy scene?
I mean, like the nice thing about Columbus for this event is it's in between Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and that.
And Pittsburgh has a big legacy.
Yeah, they all kind of. I think Cleveland and Cincinnati. I'm not sure who has a smaller one, but Columbus and Pittsburgh are definitely bigger. But Nick's first time playing Legacy, and he's playing Painter and doing well. So that's
The Painter is one of those decks where I think if you have good heuristics, you'll figure it out pretty quickly. There isn't like a lot of like. Honestly, I say that, but there's a lot of hyper-specific things you can do in Painter that you can only do in Painter. So I don't know. I'm going to say it's a deck that rewards good heuristics, but really the deck that rewards good heuristics is Delver.
I feel I mean, like, I feel like the easy draws are easy, but the hard draws in Painter are hard.
Yeah. Like the line of sack your guy with the trigger on the stack and paint them is kind of like not super intuitive if you aren't like playing the deck. But it's also one of those things where if you see someone do it once, you'll get it. Like Painter is one of those decks where if you watch someone play it 50 hours, you could probably pick it up and do decent with it. Not as well, but like you'll get the pretty like the obscure lines that are pretty important, like that one specifically. Like that's a pretty obscure line in the grand scheme of things, but it's hyper specific to Painter and very important that it exists. Yeah. Like for instance, that Doomsday line I was telling you about, where the pile was Thoracle to get around Bowmaster, so they didn't need to draw into a Bowmaster. Like that's one I would have never even considered. But it was a crazy play when I saw it. It's like, oh, I think we win here. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, they have no removal because they're on a ReScaminator, and they're not bringing in removal against me because I'm Doomsday. So I'm just going to build a pile that goes Thoracle, pass, Thoracle, I win the game.
Yeah.
Crazy line. Like, when I saw that, I still can't get over how genius that is. I should play more Doomsday. You know, there's a period where I was trying to learn the deck.
I'm getting back into trying to play more Turbo Doomsday.
I bought an Almonquette Doomsday that I found for $50. And I was like, oh shit, looks like this is a message. Then I played the deck for like 2 weeks and then I gave up. I lost to Death and Taxes, which I've been told if you lose to Death and Taxes is Doomsday, you need to pack it in.
I've lost to Death and Taxes more times than I'm willing to admit.
Well, I didn't realize that with Brainstorm that if I draw the last card in my deck, I just lose the game before I can put 2 back. I did not realize that, and I did that, and then my opponent goes, I think you just died. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I had to put 2 back. He's like, no, you can't.
You died. Yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah, so that was depending if you can't draw the 3, you do just lose the game on the spot.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's how interaction worked. I thought it would just be draw 2, put 2 back.
Do you know what happens when you expressive iterate with less than 3 cards?
No.
You resolve a top bottom. I've done that a lot.
Oh.
So it's like you put 1 into hand, 1 on bottom, and then 1 in exile. So you sometimes don't exile.
Oh, interesting.
I had to do that a lot.
How many people in the tournament? I believe the
52.
52 is a 56. 52. Around that number.
I've got some Doomsday pile stories that would blow your mind if that blew your mind.
What's your craziest one?
I actually don't know off the top of my head, but I gotta think. They all started to blend together.
Any spicy decks? There wasn't anything super spicy that we've seen thus far, but some spicy cards here and there. But definitely nothing that's like super noteworthy. Anyway, Grief Pritch Grizzlebrand.
Perfect segue. Any spicy decks? Okay, Grief.
Any Espervile? No. If you're talking about the Karaz list, then I haven't seen that deck anywhere. I don't think I've ever seen that in the States. I've only ever seen it in Europe. But we do see what is that? What is that? Is that Staring Bridge? In Staring Bridge, Soul Cauldron, Engineer, Pyroblast. That's Ensnaring Bridge, right? There's so many arts to this
Yes, that
fight.
is.
Yeah.
It's a very unoptimal version, but it's his first time.
That's fair. That's fair. We got to make sure that there's better Ensnaring Bridge arts.
It's an interesting pick here.
Well, I would probably just take the Goblin. Yeah.
Probably depends if you have a follow up.
And then reanimate there and take the Cauldron.
I think if you don't have the reanimate, you gotta take the Cauldron first. But yeah.
It's just Cauldron, right? Now the Ensnaring Bridge is actually kind of a problem too.
Yeah. Not sure if we knew what the sideboard looked like.
Yeah, if we knew how many Brazen Borrowers there are, because Braze EV is really the clutch answer here.
At a certain
Oh, we do take it. Okay. I imagine
we got days? Question mark.
We have days or we just don't care.
I'm pretty afraid of that. I got the Soul Cauldron, but maybe we have
especially with the engineer already in the yard. Anyway, here's Cauldron.
No respect for the days. Done.
Days.
He's like,
so, I don't know if that was face up or if Nick felt like he had to.
Just no fear. Flip it up.
I once saw a Doomsday player who memorized the whole pile like so well that basically went through the pile, like said the whole pile immediately and didn't even look at the cards and just kept flipping them over and just won and goes, all right, do you lose yet? Well, that was literally the quote. Did you lose? And he goes, and the opponent goes, yeah, okay. And I was just like, oh shit, dude, that's so brutal. It was like the last day of Eternal Weekend, and I think they were both kind of salty that they were out of prizing.
You know, my memory is so bad, I don't really remember my Doomsday piles.
Wow.
I just kind of have it scripted and just do the thing.
Nice. Anyway, we do see a Ponder. No order change. Draw my card. That always kind of feels bad. It's like, why did I cast this if I'm not doing anything with it anyway?
Order change, yeah. It's like getting a scry and you keep it on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, here's sleight of hand.
Like temples are probably my favorite land, and they're just like sometimes like, oh.
Who is the painter, by the way?
What?
The card is Painter Servant. But who is the servant serving?
I have no idea.
Like, who is the painter? Like, Candelabra of Tawnos belongs to, like, Tawnos. But who is the painter and Painter Servant? I don't know. Unlicensed Hearst.
I feel like
pretty good answer to a Goblin Welder engineer.
A weird set.
That's Welder. Goblin Welder. We had a lot of Painter. And by a lot, I mean two. And a lot of grief. Good grief. Pyroblast, your grief. Oh, boy, do I love Painter Servant.
Oh,
Cauldron. Exile my Goblin Welder.
Oh, exile the grief.
Oh, exile the grief. Oh, I guess that works.
You know, that really should Thoughtseize your opponent.
That really should Thoughtseize your opponent, you said? Nice.
I think we should punish the grief players more.
I'm surprised you're not running it in Doomsday yet. Probably wouldn't be too bad, honestly.
Grief?
What if you had, instead of ReScaminator, you had Scamsday?
You're really late to this.
Oh, this is already a thing that's been thought of.
Max already 5-0 with the list.
To be fair, I 5-0 on a lot of trash.
Yeah, the really good decks I play always 3-2 or 4-1, and the 5-0s come with the bad decks.
The my pro tip is if you just want to grind 5-0s, just do it when Brewers passes up, and you're just going to play against a ton of people that don't really know their decks that well. Hence why The Brewer's Press is so nice, and you can just get farm free play points. But you're also kind of lame if you're doing that instead of just playing new decks too.
This is
kind of an interesting spot. The Hearst can actually do things and stopping the Cauldron from really getting out of control. We are going to ping this Welder down. No Obelisk the Tormentor this time.
I wonder if you're supposed to exile those painters right now, because now you're in a weird state.
Exile your Troll of Khazad-dûm. You got to make sure you say it with the accent. Khazad-dûm. Like when you say Mordor, Mordor. Anyway, Hadouken your Orcish Bowmasters. And by Hadouken, I mean Lightning Bolt, for those that are unaware of the Street Fighter secret layer. Unlicensed Hearst, exile your creatures. Put 2 counters on it. It's crew 1, right? For unlicensed Hearst?
Crew 2, because you need a Baleful Strix and a Thousands Oracle.
Oh, I see.
That's how I remember.
I play a lot of Legacy, and I still don't sometimes understand unlicensed Hearst. Although there was one game where I did get someone with it, and they shame conceded. They went to attack with a Tarmogoyf, and they had a tribal enchantment, and there was only a single artifact out, and I took 3 types out in one go, and then blocked, and then they were like, "Oh, I guess I lose my Goyf," and then shame conceded. When I'm pretty sure they were still going to win. But I respect the shame concede. Anyway.
Reanimate Orcish Bowmaster. The Soul Cauldron's tapped out, just trying to get a clock into play.
Yeah. Actually, would it be a terrible clock, especially because now you can crew the unlicensed Hearst pretty easily?
Yeah. We're at approaching life totals where these little chip points become really, really important.
Yeah. Oh, Soul Guide Lantern. The red cantrip, as they say. No one actually says that. But that's what it frequently is. As seen here. Bowmaster trigger ping you. I'm not going to lie, I've missed this trigger a lot. Because I'm not used to calling out my Bowmasters into red decks. Outside of like a Fable.
You gotta be ready at all times.
You gotta be ready at all times.
All times.
Alright. What are we grabbing? I'm going to say, yeah, probably a Surveil land here. God, these are so good.
There.
I'd up to 2, personally. And I just think I don't think you go more than 2, but like I could maybe see an argument for 3. It's just at 3, it's like the chance of you not being able to ponder or stifle turn 1 is like so bad. We're pretty close to just hard casting that.
Yeah.
But I guess if we only have 1 card in hand.
Right?
Yeah. Brainstorm. I would Brainstorm with 0 cards in hand is interesting.
Yeah. There's definitely a consideration here. Do you want to hold it for maybe another turn? But if you hit something that allows you to crew this unlicensed Hearst when your opponent's at 10, there's some good outcomes.
Right. So let's see. Did you get a chance to see? Were you able to see the brainstorms or no? I couldn't see it.
No. Looks like we target with Agatha, and then we target with unlicensed Hearst.
Yep.
Were there any creatures there?
I don't believe so.
That was a great.
Pyroblast, your unlicensed Hearst.
Oh.
It is dead. The Zagatha Soul Cauldron is now a menace.
He knew what the top card of his deck was, and he kept it.
Well, we had no other choice, right? It was Brainstorm.
He's a fetch land in play.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah. You're right.
Not sure what I would keep that I wouldn't fire off right now. Maybe another cantrip.
Yeah, Tormod's Crypt is pretty good. Fetch and response. Tormod's Crypt on the stack. Take 1. Tundra. The thing is, the Tormod's crypt also makes the Goblin Welder like relevant now, because now you can sack the crypt to do like other stuff, right? You can actually start tutoring. The thing is, like,
You start what?
the thing is, like, I don't know what artifacts are in the yard. Are those all exiled with the cauldron? Like the Soul Guide Lantern, or is that in the graveyard? That has to be exiled, right?
Exile, yeah. We just have like
So,
normal too.
okay. So there's actually no artifacts in the yard. Ancient Tomb.
And it does not have any activated abilities.
Brainstorm again. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Note that I'm pretty sure these life totals are actually swapped.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the life totals. It's been kind of weird. They've been swapped and they were like pressing on each other's thing, and I'm not completely sure. But safe to say, I think we can figure it out. Regardless. Also, life totals and legacy are a bit of a scam.
I mean, right now they're pretty important.
I mean, yeah.
Right now they're
Yeah. Well, maybe in this corner case scenario, the health actually matters. I'm kidding. Ours is Saga. Uptick to 1. Okay. Yield hand shuffle. Entomb. What are we entombing? Because this Urza Saga is going to get out of control real quickly.
Yeah, is this I'm going to thin my deck into? There is this. I got this Soul Cauldron. Unless you have a Stifle, you're going to stifle it.
I don't really know what Entomb does here.
But then they have Tormod's Crypt, so.
Why did Robert fetch in response to Crypt? Oh. I'm not sure.
It's thinning.
Wait, did we just Entomb or Reanimate?
Yeah, we're thinning. We're taking Reanimate, which is a bad card, out of our deck.
Wow.
This is
Entomb my Reanimate. Crazy line, but I guess we're increasing our draw consistency now. You know, from a lore perspective, how do you entomb a spell?
Robert, with the bad draw, shows us the second Reanimate. He looked into the camera, shook his head, and showed it. He just pulled it out of his deck, too.
Fury.
Do we have
Force of Will, Pitching Days. Oh, I like those forces, though. Damn, those are nice. Oh, I might need to get those, dude. Damn it. That's really nice. Swords the Plowshares. Gain 3.
Ooh, we're getting in there. It's a 4 points of damage?
4 points of damage, baby. Take 1 this turn.
At least as well, they can only get 1 construct, right? Because we had to tap out for the Fury.
Wow, graveyard order Entomb in the graveyard before the card tutor. True. Just in case we... Is there any graveyard order that actually matters for spells? Obviously, technically it doesn't matter because it's in the rules. But effectively doesn't matter for spells.
I'm not sure.
Because Shallow Grave is actually kind of relevant, but I'm not sure about anything for spells. For non-creatures.
This contract's likely going to be a 4/4?
Technically, in Legacy, it does matter. Like, you could get a GRV for not keeping Graveyard Order. But I don't know if there are literally any cards that have been played in the Legacy format in the last decade that have cared about non-creature order. Actually, I'm trying to think, and I can't think of any. The only one that obviously comes to mind is Shallow Grave, and that's actually pretty relevant. Like, very relevant. I'm not. I don't know if we're not creatures. Nether spirit. Yeah, I think it only matters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it only matters with creatures. I'm not sure.
Nick got the grindstone here.
Yeah. No way of recurring this painter yet, but also even if like we're one goblin welder or engineer away from putting it into soup and then being able to go nuts with this saga. Simeon Spirit Guide hardcast. You'll love to see it. Here's my 2-2 beater.
Is Ogre Giant playable?
Is Ogre Giant playable?
Yeah, I mean, it's good on this board. We
Does.
are in bad top deck land. Who can top deck the
The
first
thing
relevant
is,
spell?
Urza's Saga is a crazy good creature. I mean, how big is it?
It's a 4/4.
One, yeah, 4/4.
Oh,
There she is.
is that game?
Not yet.
Oh yeah.
If we force this though, we put it in the graveyard under Soul Cauldron. So now Soul Cauldron can eat it, put its activation on the construct, use the construct, sacrifice the Tormod's crypt, bring Painter Servant, and win the
There is
game.
no Painter Servant in
Oh, that's in the yard.
It's
It's in the exile. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. What game is this? This is game 3. Game 3 of the final round going into top 8 next round.
Pretty sure this is a win it in.
Is this a winning in?
Maybe it's not. It's not even. Oh, Nick is 3-2.
3-2. So 4-2 might make it, actually. Right?
One. It depends how it shakes out. It's really
Yeah.
complicated.
One of the, I mean, let me see. So 1, 2, there's 6 slots that are not guaranteed. Okay, so if one of these loses, it would be really hard, I think. Anyway, anime dead on what? The Fury?
Oh,
Oh,
we got Tormod Crypt ourselves.
Tormod Crypt ourselves. Winning in the top 16, that for sure. I don't know about top 8 though.
Yeah, top 8, only one table drew, and I don't even think they were supposed to draw, but I don't really know. Oh, Thorn?
Oh yeah, they're not locked in. No, they are. They are. Yeah, they're locked. They're locked. They're locked. Because if half of these people lose, then they're good.
They're locked because everyone else is playing.
Yeah.
I think is how it's gonna work.
Tormod's Crypt again off the. Oh no, did we recur that? Oh no, it's a new one. Cyclotroll Khazad-dûm. This is always weird when you're on like 5 mana or 4 mana. Like, do you cycle to get to the mana, or do you just wait to hardcast it?
Huh? I think I'm cycling, but
What are the 2 cards in hand?
I think Nick is gonna win this game regardless of if you deck lands and then cast it.
Yeah, the Tormod's Crypt online is pretty brutal. Yeah, chump the Saga token. God, there's a Saga, such a beater. Entomb for reanimate again. These are some pretty brutal draws from the Scaminator side.
This is definitely always the downside of this deck is
Entomb my Entomb.
how many of these cards do you keep in these kinds of matchups because you know they're gonna have lots of hate.
Yeah. And Cycle Troll. Really just thin out the deck. 2 cards, baby. That's all we need. What do we get? 3, 4, grief. You know what would be crazy here? Another pest control. Just something to kill this construct, because that's what's really that's the stalemate right now.
Yeah, I mean the pest control gets
rid of the construct, but also the Simian Spirit Guide is a 4/4. That's a lot of stats. I don't know, Spirit Guide.
Oh, Fable.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
You know, it's a good card when you're just doing nothing.
The one that breaks the mirror.
Yeah. The top deck mirror.
The top deck mirror 5. Block with my token. We do. Oh, he's keeping up the Simian Spirit Guide. Those two as a blocker, just in case there's some kind of way to pump through a. I guess if you have one card in hand and you draw a double Bowmaster, the punish and you hit. So if you draw one card, if you have one card in hand, then your next card is Brainstorm, and you hit double Bowmaster, you could lose on the crackback if you swing with both.
My only question is, how many hot dog related tokens do you think he has?
I don't think there's hot dog related tokens. I think they are all hot dog related tokens. In fact, I'd be disappointed at this point. Animate dead. But the Cauldron is online, so it doesn't
matter. There's a crypt in play, and
there's a crypt in play.
And neither player is really playing into Thorn of Amethyst. They're just
forgetting.
I don't think it's really matter, but
yeah. I don't think it would have mattered too much. And the crackback.
The awkward
handshake. Now let's see how the pairing